Hello everyone and welcome back to Chat Shit Get Baked. This is episode 6 and we're going to do something a little bit different with this episode. We're going to be joined by RPW, Ruthless Pro Wrestling owner, Chris Kohlenberg. Obviously people may have seen over the last week the news of Ruthless Pro Wrestling shutting up shop after their next show next year. That's going to be their final show. Obviously, it came a bit out of nowhere, bit of a surprise. And then I got a message off Chris offering that he would come and he would give her an exclusive scoop, an exclusive interview, which I'm very lucky to have. Chris has always helped us out, helped get eyes on us from the start. And again, on his way out here, he's going to join. And he's going to help us one more time. So I appreciate that. I also just want to thank the sponsors for this video. That's One Breezy. I'll link their channel in the description. And I'll flash it up somewhere here. Go check them out. Do great podcasts with the likes of Nigel McGuinness, Brian Alvarez, and Josh Barnett, just to name a few. So go show them some love, because they show me love too. Right, we're on now. So here we are, Chat Shit Get Baked, episode 6. It's a special one this week. We've got our first guest. Big thank you, Chris Kohlenberg, RPW owner, Ruthless Pro Wrestling. We are joined. And we've got an exclusive interview about the future of Ruthless Pro Wrestling, RPW, and from the man himself. Yeah, so how are you doing anyway, Chris? Wait there. You deserve this. Can you hear this? Ready? Yeah,
somebody's making use of their soundboard.
Oh mate, I love it so much. Right, so before I think we'll just get started like right from the start. So what made you want when did you start Ruthless? Obviously I know we've talked about this in the past, like it was like around lockdown and shit, wasn't it? But let's go from the start. So what made you want to start Ruthless, and how did it all become what it is?
Well, I didn't actually start Ruthless Pro Wrestling.
All right.
It was a friend of mine named Mitch Reed, who's still a friend of mine. He came out to the last King of the Kill. We still talk often. But how it started is originally I was a concert promoter. I was also a musician for a long time. I used to sing death metal. But I would be putting on a lot of shows in the area, the Toledo area, of like touring acts, everything from, like metal bands to like rap acts. We've done everything from, Method Man and Red Man to like Cannibal Corpse and all this shit. So my background is in promoting and entertainment, Yeah. And I had suffered a accident. I was in a car accident and my skull got crushed, and it caused me to have sometimes if you put me like hella on the spot, I'll have memory issues of shit like that I know. Yeah. So I was like forgetting my lyrics on stage sometimes.
Fucking hell.
So
and was that off the back of the car accident?
Yeah. So my girlfriend at the time was a photographer, and the back seat of my car was just full of tripods. And when I got in the accident, all the tripods came out of the back, and they cracked my skull open. So I deal with a thing where and people that know me well be notice it's not like too bad, but if you put me on the spot to remember something, a lot of times I'll be like fuck and then it'll come to me in a second.
Yeah, I get like that as well, to be honest, but I think that's down to the weed and all the head trauma. Without related.
Well, yeah, that's probably chair shots. It's probably all the same shit, car accident, chair shots.
Yeah, it's like head trauma.
But I backed more into just the promoting side of things, just putting on shows in the Toledo area and surrounding areas.
Yeah.
And I was going to a lot of wrestling shows, and I was helping those out, wrestling shows in the area. There was a promoter that lived here in Toledo. I'm not gonna say his name and give him any shine because he was terrible. He treated the boys like shit.
No one gets credit who doesn't deserve it.
Yeah,
on this podcast.
Well, I mean, he ended up folding anyway, real fast. But my friend Mitch and I and a couple other people, we were trying to help him out behind the stage or backstage. But on the side, we're sitting there talking like, "Yo, man, there's got to be a better way than this, man. There's no reason to be treating people like this, and talking all this shit, and all this fucking crazy shit that was going on." So we decided to start something. He named it Ruthless Pro Wrestling. I was supposed to be his right hand man and his facilitator because I knew how to get sound guys.
Is there any reason where the name came from? Just because you mentioned it, any reason why he called it Ruthless, or was it just?
I'm honestly not sure. I think we had like 4 or 5 names, and I think it was just one of those things where we threw it in a hat and just yanked one out. And that ended up being the one. I also think at the time there wasn't any other RPWs. I know there are now.
Unique.
But at the time there wasn't anyone using those 3 letters.
Is there RPWs now? I haven't. I hear RPW or Ruthless, and I just think to you guys.
I mean, in our scene, yes. But in non-deathmatch wrestling, there's a place out of, I believe it's Wisconsin. No, not Wisconsin. Minnesota. No, it is Wisconsin, called Rocket Pro Wrestling. So they're in RPW.
All right, fair enough.
So there are a couple more now. I can't remember. They're more just traditional style wrestling. They don't really do what we do.
Nice.
But at the time there wasn't. So it also had some panache to that. So we started setting up our first show. It was going to be downtown Toledo, a place called Handmade Toledo, which is a collective where local artists can sell all their crap, and they have a big back area with a stage.
Sorry, the sound just went. Oh, there we go. I think it's my silly soundboard. Go ahead.
It was a place called Handmade Toledo. It was on the bar crawl district. We knew all the bar owners. It had a nice back area and a stage. We were going to have some bands involved. And then pandemic hit.
Yeah.
So everyone was at a standstill.
You were saying this. You were you started right around when the pandemic hit. What the thought about?
I think we were about,
obviously you've made it work.
I think we were about a month out from that show when the pandemic hit.
So was that the debut show as well? That would have been the first show. Yeah. That you were going to run, and then the pandemic hit. Fuck now.
Yeah, I still remember our main event was going to be Otis Kogar versus Max the Impaler.
Versus who?
Max the Impaler.
Oh, Max the Impaler from fucking NWA. Just been on NWA.
Yeah, well,
or whatever. Has been on NWA.
Yeah, the same thing. At the time, Max. At the time, Max wasn't doing all that yet. That was to come.
All right, it wasn't it's crazy. I don't even know what to say. It's I don't want to say the wrong thing, but it's a big Viking gimmick, kind of Viking monster.
I think it's a mix of Viking and Mad Max, apocalyptic. Kind of thing.
Yeah. Nice.
But
so how did you obviously the pandemic hit a month out from your show? Did you continue? Did you run that show? Did you just keep going, or how did that affect the plans?
No, we well, when the pandemic first happened, I don't know how it was over there, but over here there was kind of this feeling that it was only going to last a month or two. No one really thought it was going to go as long as it did, so we were all just
I think everyone was under the same boat, in the same impression there. It wasn't going to last as long as it did.
Yeah, we all in the beginning, everyone was under the impression a couple months of this shit and we'll be out of it. We didn't realize it was going to go years.
Crazy. It was a crazy old time.
Or a year. It was a little over a year, right?
Back, it's was that even real? Was COVID even real? What kind of shit was that covering up?
Life felt like a blur during those times.
It's hard to think back to those times. I'm even trying now, and I'm fuck no. It is a bit of a blur, but it's it was a crazy old time. I don't think anything like that will happen again. Well, I say that, I bet it's crazy that shit happened.
Fucking hope not. That shit sucked, dude.
No.
And I don't think anyone's been the same since,
Nah, and nobody's been the same since. So when did you end up actually running? When did the first show actually go ahead? And how long was that? After the pandemic, or did you run during or anything?
we started running during.
No way,
So
sick. Was
we
that
we
limited
gave up
crowds?
hope. No, not what. So what we did was we had access to, because no one was able to wrestle, and no one was running shows.
Yeah.
Where we're at in Toledo, we kind of had access to like a hotbed of talent from like. So my buddy CK3, also known as Crimson, and Trey
Yeah.
Miguel own a school out here called Skull and Bones.
Trey
Um,
Miguel, like from TNA in the
yeah, yeah,
Rascals. Yeah, yeah.
hmm
Fair one.
yeah, lives right down the road. So they had a wrestling
Really, that's
school,
crazy.
um, and Cleveland's not far off. There's a bunch of guys from Cleveland that weren't getting reps. Detroit's not far off. We found, or one of the guys that was working with me at the time, his name is Corey Reister. His mother or mother-in-law, and I think it was his mom. She had a big farm area
Yeah.
and this massive backyard, so we could set up a ring out there, and people could be as far away from possible from each other,
Yeah.
and the boys could still get reps. So like even on our first show ever, like we had like bigger names than we should have. We had Otis Kogar, we had
Yeah.
like guys like Sam Beal and Jason Hotch, um, Nolan Edwards, who's since been canceled, but at the time we had like Dominic Guarini,
Yeah, Dom's cool. Dom's sick. That's
just
cool.
because of the area it was in, and
Yeah, well,
so we
they were
started
like
doing.
local guys kind of thing.
They could all drive in within an hour and a half to
Yeah, so it wasn't like you weren't
to
bringing in
15
people from
minutes.
like far and wide because of the COVID and shit.
Yeah, exactly. And
But to be
all of them,
fair,
none of them
like
were
I think
working.
that's probably where in even without COVID, a lot of like promoters starting out for the first time probably made that mistake. I'm just relating like what I see here in England, but like I've seen like Bleeding Guns who've recently folded, and now I think it's probably part of the reason. From day one, they were bringing in imports, like multiple imports. Neil Diamond Cutter from day one, like
Yeah,
every single show had an import, and they have Scotland has a great little niche, for wrestlers and stuff, like especially that deathmatch hardcore scene. And I just think a lot of promoters like probably should learn from what you did there and like use your local guys first, build that core base, and then go.
yeah. I mean, we didn't start doing overseas travel until we were years into this thing.
Yeah, I know,
Um,
totally.
but like actually, Neil was part of the early shows too, but he would just jump
Yeah,
on a
Neil.
bus.
Pardon the pun, but Neil, he's a diamond, isn't he? He's a diamond of a man. Love a bit of
Yeah,
Neil.
yeah. He's something else, man.
Yeah, he stayed here before on my settee. I looked after him for a week. After that Scotland show, I was like, "What are you doing?" He was like, "Oh, I'm staying in Scotland with a promoter and his wife." And I was like, "No, you're not. You're coming to my house." Just like kidnapped. I didn't kidnap him against his will. I kidnapped him because he wanted to be kidnapped, and he had a fun time. Anyway,
that
so
that makes a
when
lot of
was
sense
your
with Neil.
fit? What was that? Sorry.
So that makes a lot of sense with Neil. When I started using him, he would come in like a day or two early and leave like a day or two later, and just like
Yeah, he
hang
just
around
wants
my
to hang out.
house playing video
That's
games and
sick.
wanting to hang out.
Getting high. Love it. So, like, what
Yes,
was
pretty
your
much.
after the pandemic and stuff? What would you say was your first like proper like show where there was like no restrictions and you could like bring like more people in or like a bigger crowd or whatever? When would you say like that started to come out? Like when you started to come out of the COVID and started like make the name that years have built up now?
So we did like 3 of those backyard shows,
Yeah,
and then the COVID restrictions got lifted. Where I live in Ohio, you can't do death matches; they're illegal. We have
yeah,
an athletic commission, so anything that draws blood gets shut down. So I found a place called Burgers and Beers. It was a quarter
nice.
mile over the border in Michigan,
Yeah,
which is 20 minutes from my house, so it's still local to where I was living. It was just a
yeah.
quarter mile over the border, so it was legal,
So it's
and that's
totally
where we
different
ran our
rules. It's
first like
insane. That's great.
proper show. But that was also our first show on IWTV.
Yeah.
We had
Oh, nice.
somehow built a buzz from those backyard shows, and I think it was because like we were able to get some bigger names because they weren't doing shit, and not a lot of places were running. And we started advertising
Yeah,
this thing.
so
It
you
was the
just wanted
first
to
time we
wrestle.
did. Yeah, it was the first time we did Devil's Night,
Right.
and on that show we had Reed Bentley, Murdoch, Alex Ocean, Akira.
Nice.
It was Tommy Vendetta's first death match.
No way.
So we had some. Yeah, he did his first death match with Akira here. It was
That's crazy. So so Tommy Vendetta didn't have his first death match until what, like within like last 5 years?
yeah.
No way.
Well,
That's fucking insane.
he had kind of a death. I would call it more hardcore. He did one with Jimmy Lloyd, but it was mostly just barbed wire. They didn't use any glass or anything.
Yeah.
With ours, everything would have a Halloween gimmick. So his was the light tube cabins in the woods gimmick. So we just had shit tons of light tube cabins in their match. And that was like his first like real deal death match with Akira. But because we had a bunch of those names, and those guys all lived within driving distance to us, except for Alex Ocean. He lived in Florida. We had a show in Indiana the day before.
Right.
And they were all able to drive in. So we didn't have to get anybody any plane tickets. We used my homie's house as a flop house afterwards and just partied down afterwards. I didn't really have to get anybody any hotels because no one really needed to stay too much besides like Akira. I think, it doesn't matter. But that was like the first proper one. And that was also our first IWTV one. Like we kind of got our feet wet really fast.
Did you was it live streamed to IWTV like right off the bat, or did you just film it and like upload it?
No, we were punk rock as fuck about it. It was just guys making it work. We filmed it. We did commentary afterwards.
Yeah, that's sick. That's class. I love that shit.
We did not have proper commentary at the time. It was me and my buddy Corey, whose mom's backyard we were using before.
No way. That's cool. But so all you just banded together and just made it work. Got it.
Yeah, I mean that's how RPW has always been. It's just like, like I found resourceful people around me, and we've always like gotten together and made it work. I mean, a couple times it's burned me, but most of the time it made it work. I mean, I've gotten people like Peapod out of it and all that. Peapod, who now has made a hell of a name for himself in commentary, like all around the country.
He's great on commentary.
He started out as our morning radio DJ here in Toledo.
He's what?
He started out as our
DJ.
He was. He's not anymore. But like it was Peapod in the morning for like 10 years.
That's insane.
And I met him because he interviewed my buddy Corey and I on the radio about the show coming up, and we gave him some tickets.
Yeah. And that's how he got in. That's how you met him.
That's how I get. Well, he didn't come in right away. He ended up leaving radio, and then we had another commentator that went by Stoney Schiavone.
Tony Schiavone?
His name is Travis. No, he went by Stoney, like
Stoney Schiavone. That's even better. I love it.
And
I was going to be like,
buddies.
why have Tony Schiavone and comes? Like, Stoney Schiavone's even better. Love it.
So they used to be roommates, and then when Peapod left the radio, Travis reached out and was like, hey, come in and do this shit with us.
Yeah.
And actually, you know what? The Burgers and Beers was still during the pandemic because it actually ramped up harder than that because the first time I brought him in, we couldn't have a crowd at that point. So we did a couple shows at the Skull and Bone Skull that Crimson and Miguel had, and we called it Slamdemic. And those were the first those were the first ones that we had Peapod on.
I like that. Slamdemic.
So those didn't really have a crowd. They were more taped for IWTV. And we had like some friends and family we'd allow to come in and watch, but it was like more to be taped and put out.
Like
and we had
like a small circle kind of thing. So it was like a bit of a live crowd, but nothing crazy. Nice. I just want to like touch on how we met each other. Because if I remember rightly, I was meant to work for you guys on a weekend. It was a ICW weekend with you guys, right? And I think you had us matched up with Redacted, wasn't it?
I believe so, yeah.
First time. Yeah, and obviously I was in with Uncle Rob Black at the time. We'll not get too much into that, but obviously it led me to having to pull from your shows and Danny DeMonto's shows. But then I think I first met you, it was at an XPW show, right? And it was at the Hall Ballroom, and were you providing Rob Black's ring or something like that?
So there's a lot of like rumors and speculation about that. Like everyone was saying I was in bed with Rob and I was doing shows with Rob. That wasn't the case
No,
at all.
I know that
And
wasn't the case either.
you can attest to this because you were fucking there. But like
Yeah,
a lot of
exactly.
like I was getting messages left and right. And what really happened is that I had a buddy that was selling a ring.
Yeah,
Rob had heard through the grapevine that this guy was selling the ring, got a hold of me to get a hold of this guy, and I hooked them up. Well, the guy wasn't
yeah,
able to get him. He did eventually sell him the ring, but he wasn't able to get him the ring in time. So Rob asked me because he knew at the time one of the guys I was working with had a ring. If he could pay that, have us bring a ring and our guardrails out. So I was like, fuck it. I had nothing going on that weekend. I was like, I'll go make some money. And he wanted to buy these guardrails off me. Um, I ended up selling them for 300 a piece, and I bought, or no, 150 a piece, and I bought them all for 300
well, 150 per like per rail, like per
per
chunk.
rail. And I think I
No
sold them
way.
19 of them.
You bought a lot for 300. There was a lot. I remember there was a lot of guardrails there because it went all the way around. That's
Yeah, because
business. That's what's a lot
Necro threw
like.
one into your face pretty hard.
Yeah, I was about to say. Necro threw one at us and then a barrage of chairs after. Bless him. But so you sold all them for like 150 a piece after that show.
Yeah, I mean, I had to make a couple grand off of that weekend. But so no,
That's
like
crazy.
I was never in bed with Rob. Like
Nah,
he was always trying to like
confirm that you weren't either.
he would try to mention me on his radio show a lot, and like people would like mess me like, "Yo, he's talking about you again." And I think what he was trying to do was manipulate the public's eye into where I was almost like forcing my hand us to do a show because he really wanted to get into my Chicago venue, and I wasn't having it.
Like he needed you, so he was trying to say like, "Oh, you were in with him," kind of thing. Even though
Like he would like just make up these stories and shit, and then like people would tell me, and I'd have to fucking listen to his goddamn radio show to figure out what the fuck they were talking about.
That radio show is insane. I feel like people used to just listen to that as a joke to see like, oh, what fucking shit's Rob gonna come out with next, or like, who's he gonna kick off with? I even went through a little phase of like, oh, tuning in because he's going fucking mental. It's like just watching the old man scream at the clouds, isn't it? It's like that's what it was like.
One of my guys called him the Deathmatch Howard Stern. And I thought there was never anything more fucking appropriate.
Bless him. Yeah, I don't know, but I got a friend request just yesterday off Extreme Pro Wrestling on Facebook with like an XPW thing. And I'm like, is there a rebirth coming? He invited us to like some kind of knife page as well. And I was like, is he coming for my thumbs? But I still got them.
I think, I don't think he'll, I mean, knock on wood. It's not like it matters to me anymore anyway, but I don't think, I think he lost so much money this time around that I don't think he'd ever be back. I think he thought it was going to be like when he was running in the 2000s and he could just mob in, talk a bunch of shit, like flex his dick on a bunch of people, and that everyone would just come and mob his shows. And it didn't work out that way, man. I'm pretty positive he lost his ass on those shows, you know?
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to say about like this bit? Anything like Rob Black? Anything before we move on? Anything you want to clear?
No, I mean I fucking met the guy the one time. One thing I do find funny, and it's something I'd never seen in wrestling before, and it shows how old school a guy he fucking was, is when he went to fucking pay me, the motherfucker pulled out a big checkbook like from like 1998, like the big fucking checkbook with the ledger. And he wrote me a fucking check. I was like, what the fuck is this, man?
Did it not bounce? Did it not bounce?
No, it did bounce, so.
Fucking hell. Fair play. The first Rob Black check that doesn't bounce gets one of these.
I gotta say, I was nervous as shit walking in the fucking bank with that. I figured he pretty much fucked me, and he probably just handed me something just to get me the fuck away from him to get paid, you know? Because I was trying to get the fuck out of there after the ring got broke down.
What was that, bud?
Because I was just trying to get the fuck out of there after the ring got broke down, you know?
I'm not surprised. Right, we'll move on in the timeline to the point where I start working for you guys. So, obviously, I know, like, around the point where it was like, it was King of the Kill, wasn't it, originally, where I was meant to debut for you?
Yeah.
Last year.
No.
But, obviously, last minute, I got
You were
asked to
you were
do blood
supposed to
sport and
you were
go on.
supposed to debut before that. It was the ICW thing that
Oh
Rob
yeah,
pulled you
that was
off.
meant to be. That was meant to be
That
what
was
we
going to be
just
your
talked about. That
debut,
that was
and
meant to
then
be the debut,
we were supposed
and
to
then
build you up to
yeah,
King of the Kill. Yeah.
yeah, that was meant to be it totally. But obviously, like that didn't happen. So you asked us to come in for King of the Kill, and that was announced and stuff. But I remember because I actually first worked for you over. It was the Mania week, booking, and I wasn't meant to be there at all. It was all very last minute for me. I got asked to do the Bloodsport show, and obviously I had to jump at that. And then I remember messaging you going, "Oh, I know it's last minute, but is there any spots?" And I think I remember you even said, "Oh, the show's full this time, but it would be cool to do like a run in as a surprise and announce yourself in King of the Kill." And I was all up for that. I remember, I think I even messaged you asking if I could do that angle with Danny Dargo after
Mhm.
his match, just because it would be cool for us, like the Deathmatch Outlaws, the Brits. I'll come in a mask, blindside him, and then, wait, I'm here. I'm in King of the Kill. And then I think your message was, "Yeah, that's a really good idea, Lou, but we're going to put the belt on you instead." So, can you tell us anything about that? Where the idea come from to put the Rust belt on us and give us a run with that?
Yeah. Actually, if you remember, that the whole thing got really crazy that weekend because that was the plan,
Yeah,
was to put the belt on you. And what I wanted you to do was, I was like, this is an opportunity. I know I have them coming out for King of the Kill. It's
yeah,
an opportunity to get this belt in front of more eyes and to
yeah,
put some boost behind somebody I believe in, that I like, and to get it overseas, to get it defended over there, and bring some eyes on the belt, bring some eyes on you, and bring some eyes on us. It was a win-win for everybody.
yeah,
And we had set it up to where you were going to be in the main event with Tommy Vendetta and Otis and those guys. And then Tommy got concussed, and he was the
yeah. He
champion.
did, didn't he? MM3
And
stepped in.
we had to we had to come up with a whole like
I love the
new
angle. He's always
thing.
made it work. Like with those guys, you make it work. You know what I mean? Especially like Tommy and MM3, Darren. They're very creative, so it worked out
What
well.
a lot of
Sorry,
people
carry
don't
on.
know is we didn't know that he was hurt until like the morning of. So we had to come up with all that
Did,
shit on the
was
fly.
it
Like
earlier that week he got hurt? Was it June Mania week he got hurt, or was it previously?
it was it
How
was
long?
it was at ICW the night before.
The
I
night
don't
before? I was
remember
there.
exactly. I think there was some sort of he took some sort of chair shot wrong, I believe.
Yeah,
I'm not sure the exact sequence because it's been a while, but I
yeah,
think got smoked by a chair wrong. And when
yeah,
I got called in the morning, it was like, hey, he's concussed as fuck. He's still talking about doing it, and I'm always just like, yo, like matches come and go. If you're hurt,
yeah,
I'm not gonna fucking contribute to that, you know. So we came
yeah.
up with the gimmick with replacing it with MM3, and the whole thing. We got Darren McCarty involved and all that stuff to
I
kind of
love
try to
that
make a
match though.
show of
It was
it.
fucking quite a fun. Even if I
Yeah,
remember like the finish of the match, I don't know exactly who come up with that. It was probably a combo of Otis and MM3, but the whole springboard with a fucking bundle. And then I got shot with a bundle and I'm waiting to choke him. I was fucking bleeding. I bled a fuck ton in that match. It was fucking. I
yeah,
worked for that title. I worked for that title. But
yeah. Your shoulder was fucked
I
up.
yeah. But I fucking loved it though. I loved it. And obviously that was my first like international title, and that was the first opportunity I got to bring a belt back over here. And obviously in my head I wanted to like get it. I knew I had a good bit of time to get it seen, and I think I defended it like 9 times over here, across like 4 or 5 different promotions.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever asked you this, but now on this interview, I think it'd be a good one. How do you think I did with the Rust Belt over here? From your guys' perspective, did we get did we get from it what you wanted to achieve? Did I get eyes on you? Did I? What do you think? How do you
Yeah.
think I did? I'm not. You don't have to. I'm not. I don't want you to lick me off or anything. I just want to know.
No, I think it worked out great in every aspect because not only did it get eyes on the belt, it got
Yeah,
eyes on you, but it also
yeah,
showcased belt contender level talent from over there that maybe people weren't watching over here.
Yeah, that was a big goal of mine. Like, obviously, because you got your guys, Big Joe, Darko, Kane, and people that people know and have been seen. But in my head, I wanted to show a few of the guys who maybe wouldn't get seen, like your Dora Diablos, Isaac North. I even had one with my tag partner, Brett 7X. We did like a no rope one. And I feel like I got a lot, because I remember the Jobber Radio put a video out recently, and it showed like the whole run of me with a Rust Belt, and I was like, watching it back. I was like, that was cool. Like, I got a lot of eyes on a lot of people and stuff. But I think, yeah, I agree. I think it was quite a success. There was a lot of buzz behind it.
Yeah, and in order to be somebody to contend for a belt, that means you got to be a topper guy in the company. So it got eyes on guys that may not have gotten seen over here. So I think it worked out great.
Yeah, and obviously, again, I appreciate that, because I felt it helped me a lot. Obviously, I just go off like social media buzz and numbers and stuff, but I really feel it helped me out a lot as well. So I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, of course.
And then I come back out. So I come back for King of the Kill. It was King of the Kill. I think I had Redacted in the first round, and then Judge Joe Dredd in the second round, who I ultimately dropped the belt to. And that was my... Oh, no. So there was that one. Is there anything you want to touch on that King of the Kill before I move on? Anything you want to say about it? I think that was a really good show. It was a great show.
I'm very proud of our King of the Kill shows. That one, definitely, I liked it a lot. King of the Kill became one of those things where they became such good and big shows that the stress of them always like, how do I outdo the last one,
Yeah.
To the point where we had to use explosives this year,
Yeah. Did you use explosives just to get on?
Yeah, with the main event, we did exploding ropes with Dillinger and Schlack.
Yeah, with Dillinger and Schlack. Shout out Eric Dillinger, by the way. What a man. He deserved that this year. He deserved that win. I remember we even talked like last King of the Kill about you wanting to push Eric and stuff, and it was nice to see that all come together. I've worked Eric twice. Hopefully, it'll not be the last time, but he's a good guy. Really good guy.
Eric's an awesome person, in and outside the ring.
Yeah, totally agree. Shout out Eric.
Any company that's sleeping on him's fucking up. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah, I agree totally. And then I think the next time I worked for you, it was the Time Bomb. I think that was the last time I worked for you. Actually, it was the Time Bomb double shot, wasn't it? Is that right? At the Brewers? Am I right in thinking that?
Yeah, I think that was the last time because you weren't able to make out the LA show.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, so the one just gone. So that one was like the double shot with Time Bomb. I think I worked Redacted on the Time Bomb show, and then it was Tommy on your show. Me and Tommy got that one, and I love that because obviously I said to him, I was like, because obviously I've got me Blackout Crew entrance song that everyone fucking raves to, and I was like, Tommy, you have to be the guy to cut us off on my entrance and get all the heat. I think it worked well. I love working with Tommy. We still haven't even had a full-on death match. So hopefully we can keep the story going somehow, some way, and finish the story that you guys started with. But again, I love working with Tommy as well. Like you've got a great roster of guys, like a solid roster that is different to like what you see everywhere else as well.
That's what I was going for, I mean.
Yeah, standing out, like unique matches and stuff. I totally agree.
I've always tried to showcase people that I think are the next guys too, I mean, and
up and coming.
I do feel that Tommy and MM3 were some of those guys in the beginning, I mean.
Yeah.
I know that the one deathmatch circus I did with Danny, I mean, MM3 is one of the guys that I was pushing to get on his show, and he's been on them ever since,
Yeah, totally. Yeah, he's it's good to see the Pillars getting around. Even what that I had a match on GCW recently. It was against the Rejects. I love that match. It was just they had the fucking fans putting the boots to the boys on either side of the ring, and they were going fuck that side. It was a masterpiece. I love that shit. It was a death match, and they fucking went to war after. But they had that fun and they told the story and stuff. That's top workers for me. Really good guys. Is there anything you want to touch on about the LA show before we move on? Any thoughts? I know Jack and Iceman was there. They did the world record 1,000 light tubes. Crazy motherfuckers. But shout out to Iceman and Jack. Northeast Death representing.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah, anything you want to go on about that?
Yeah, absolutely. That was also the second time I've worked with Jack and Iceman.
Yeah, they did King of the Kill too.
Yeah. And I gotta say, like, those guys, like, outside of the ring, just spending time with those guys is a fucking they are goofballs, man. They're a blast.
They're a double act. He was did you meet Cousin Tom as well? Big Tom, the cousin.
Not the first time. He didn't come out to King of the Kill, but he did come out to LA because they needed him to drive.
They're like a trio. They're amazing. So good.
Yeah, they did so much while they were out there. I was watching their blogs and shit. I was like, they hit every goddamn thing while they were out there.
They did this whole like who stole the belt angle, but like on the way out and that, and like it turned out that Tom had the belts because he didn't want to feel left out. It was fucking hilarious. I love it. But
I will say that
about that.
I will say during that match though, that's the most nervous I've ever been.
Ooh,
during a match. If you want to talk to like any of the boys or the staff, like they were like it was painted on your face because like I was very worried about that match until it was done. That's just a lot of risk, a lot of glass.
I was just thinking because I know how hard those boys have. Like obviously they've done this fucking 10-match series or whatever, and like it's always like right they had the 3 or 4, and then it's like what he's gonna do to top that last one though. But they've always found a way. And then the last one they had before the 1,000 light tubes, the finish was like an electrocution spot, mental. And then it's like, right, he's done now, he's done. And then it comes out 1,000 light tubes, and I was like, yeah, they're gonna go hard as fuck. And like, I was a bit worried about what the end result would have been of that match, like just on them and their bodies. Like, as long as like no one went to hospital and no one was fucked up, so. And I seen Jack came back and he wrestled Drew Parker in TNT like a week later, and he was fine. Do you know what I mean? So that just shows how much of warriors they are. But I agree. I was like saying my prayers back home for them. I'm like fucking safe. But I seen all the clips and absolutely smashed it. Iceman fucking taking peels off the top rope and everything. Like he's in his 20s again. I love it, man. Love it.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely brought it out there, and those guys they burned it down. Like. It was one of those things where I was really apprehensive to do the match. Like, it took a lot of convincing, and it took them kind of walking me through what they want to do with it and how they work it safely and all this stuff. Not to pull the curtain back too much, but it was one of those things I really took a lot. Like, I said no several times to this thing beforehand.
Well, that just shows like credit on you as well, because most bookers would just jump to that because it's like 1,000 light tubes on a poster, but you were like, nah, like you didn't want to you would never take the piss out of them and expect them to put the bodies on the line for nothing unless you were comfortable with it. So that just shows on you. But it seemed very well planned. I had like Johnny Phillips. Like I love the way he made all the gimmicks and he counted all the tubes and stuff, and it looked really well done. And God knows how long it took him to fucking put all that shit together. But big up Johnny Phillips for doing that. Like,
probably about 2 weeks.
Props.
It took him 2 weeks because as he was building stuff, he was. Does this look good? How's this sound? And then he'd like draw a diagram. I'm gonna do something like this. Kind of just running things through. And then as he was building, he was sending me more pictures and he was posting the stuff. Like we were kind of working hand in hand just to make sure it was going to be all right through the three of us. But also I misspoke. I forgot. That's not the second time I've worked with those guys. It's the third because I forgot we all worked together in Vegas too.
Oh shit! I missed out the Vegas show. Yeah, we did the dive bar. Where I worked Eric on that one. Yeah, I remember we missed the dive bar show. That was a fun one. It was cool. That was a proper like UK showcase. That one. It was like it was a good show. It was like UK versus Ruthless. It was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. That dive bar.
Yeah, I like that. Fuck man, yeah. And the goddamn Redacted did that spot with the dune buggy and all that. Holy shit.
Yeah, that was sick. Out the front with Big Joe. That was sick. Everyone was fucking bleeding.
Big Joe Big Joe was cutting a promo on the cops.
Yeah, fucking crazy shit. I don't know how far you want to go into this story, but doing the karaoke after, and what was he called? Bone Crusher. Remember?
Yeah, I remember vividly. I think a certain
Nate Webb
individual that was
fucked him up
involved in
and
that
disarmed
story.
him.
I
We'll
think a
tell that
certain
story another
person.
time. I'll put that one behind the paywall, but Nate Webb is a fucking real
Yeah,
G. He disarmed the Bone Crusher. But
yeah, threw his
so I
pistol on
think
the roof.
yeah, man, it was insane. I remember the next day at the Rise show. So there was a guy on the roof climbing up, like obviously to retrieve the piece. And Big Joe, was like, "Oh, did you see it?" Like he was talking to the guy going up the ladder. He's going, "Oh yeah, like oh, crazy guy, fucking gun, Bone Crusher." And the guy turned to Joe. He was like, "Did you see any of it? Because it was my brother." And Joe was like, "No, I wasn't here." But right, so we'll move on to like the hot topic of why everyone's probably hung around so long to hear the answers and what's going on. So the floor is yours here. Obviously, when was you put a state? When did you put the statement out about the next show being the last one? Was it last week?
Well, those last week. We have 2 shows left.
Sorry, my bad. Sorry, just keep me right. You've got 2 shows left. Yeah. So the floor is yours, mate. Do you want to just tell a bit about that? Why you come? Anything you want to like? Why you came to that decision? What this regards for the 2 shows coming up. Anything you want to say? Let's. I'm all ears.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't a decision that came lightly for me or my team. There was so many factors that were starting to sprout up that made it to where it kind of just has to be that way, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go too far into like health issues that are going on with my family or myself, but there's several health issues that are being dealt with within my family that have made my time needed to be more focused elsewhere.
Yeah.
Along with, I had made the mistake of letting some people into my circle that ended up not working out very well. You were there for one of the shows where some things, didn't go the way they should have, and we had to let go of some people. And since then, I've been very choosy on who I let in my circle, and we've been running a little ragtag. So, it's a combination of my time needing to be here for my family and myself.
Totally.
Sometimes you gotta just put some shit away to take care of things that are most important to you. But also, there's a certain level of burnout going on. Where you're running yourself ragged, a lot of sleepless nights and a lot of selfless hours, and like working like this is a nonstop job to run a promotion. It's like there's no time off. Like you're at work getting a million messages. You wake up from being asleep to a million messages.
Yeah, it's always constant. Either people in your ear about either workers want pitching ideas, or workers trying to get booked, or venues, or anything. It could be all sorts. I can completely imagine like the stress of it. But yeah, go on. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, go ahead. And there's always issues that you don't see coming to deal with. There's always all these problems like sourcing weapons and all this stuff that you have to always constantly be on top of. And with what's going on outside of this, it's getting to the point where I can't be there for the people I need to be there because of this other thing. And it's a thing I built from scratch, and it's a thing I love, and it's a thing that it's going to always be a big part of myself and what I've built and like what I've done in the world, and something I will always be proud of. But at certain times, you got to know when you got to make a tough decision for what's right and what's the bigger picture. And at the moment right now, it's more important for me to take care of the bigger picture. And it's also, I've always been a big fan of like guys like Quentin Tarantino would say, like, don't, just keep going until you're regarded as crap. Just stop it while it's still on top,
Yeah, like quit while you're ahead.
Leave a legacy.
Yeah, totally. I like that.
So, this is something that my team at least has known that, I've been contemplating and I've been running by them and let them know what was going on with me and, my family and all that. And that, this thing is most likely, going to start coming to an end pretty soon. And they agreed, they're like, yeah, it's more important to be doing this. And so it's just one of those things where, the day that we made that announcement, I turned my phone off because I just expected with like the climate of what's going on with the fans and everything right now, like it
Yeah, I
seems like
can
everyone's
imagine.
just at war with each other.
Yeah, it's
And it never
crazy.
used to be that
Crazy
way.
world. Crazy world.
It never used to be that way. Like
Nah.
a lot of times
Getting
my
into it.
phone's blowing up, like this person said this, or you need to do something about this, and I'd be like, hey man, like I don't want to be involved in any of this, like it
Yeah.
adds so much extra stress too. And it's
Mm.
just I wanna do these two shows. We have
Yeah.
Florida coming up in November, and then
Yeah,
we're
I was
gonna
gonna say
announce
plug those shows. When is the next two? Florida, November. Is that right?
November 22nd, Lola's in Tampa, Florida. We'll be announcing
Yeah.
the last RPW show very soon. It's going to be at the beginning of next year. We're going to run it at the Berwyn Eagles. Anyone that had tickets to Slime Wave, they will be honored. So if you had a front row to that ticket, you have a front row to our final show ever. But the reason I'm taking so much time to announce this last show is I'm getting some big things. I want to go out with a bang, and I
Yeah.
want to go out uncompromised. So I'm waiting to announce a date to where all these moving parts that I want to do on this one show are going to work on a certain date. And I think I
Nice.
got it all locked in, and I hopefully will be announcing for you guys soon, like within the next week or two.
Nice. Cool, man. Cool. Um, is there anything else you want to touch on? Because I think we've covered all points here. I really appreciate you joining us and giving us the exclusive interview and stuff. Because I know you are in demand, and as you said, a lot of people wanted the scoop, which I'm not surprised about. But I was lucky enough to get it. Is there anything else you want to say to close up, or anything at all?
Well, I'll finish by saying this. The reason I'm doing it with you, and we discussed this behind, was that you're someone I always believed in. I saw
Yeah.
what you're doing with the podcast. I see it's getting lifted up, and if I could do some
Yeah.
stuff, or at
I
least
feel a
do
little
this for you
buzz.
on my way out,
Yeah.
at least get you some more views or whatever, I'll feel like I've helped. There's a
No, I
couple other
appreciate
podcasts that asked me, I'm sorry guys, but I've been on your podcast
it.
before, and I wanted to help my buddy Lou out here. So
I'm sure they'll understand. It's me. Look at this face. Don't be angry at this face.
who can be mad at that face? Look at that
Yeah.
punham.
No, I really appreciate you joining us, mate. And yeah, man. I'll stop the recording now, but I'll keep on and talk to you. But everyone, I'm gonna put you out the right way. RPW, Chris Kohlenberg, everyone. Thank you very much. And make sure you go to the last two Ruthless shows. You don't want to miss them. There'll be a big bang. Yeah, I'm going to stop the recording, bro. End